Namo Buddhaya. Yesterday we started on how to apply the Dhamma in our daily life. So today let us continue on that journey. After I have understood on Buddha Dhamma Sangha, that is, I have recited on the Buddha, I have recited the Dhamma and the Sangha, not like a parrot, but I have done it in a way it should be done in that recitation. Now the question comes, why should I recite? What is the need of recitation? The need of recitation is to inculcate an habit wherein the worldly thoughts are removed and this thought is inserted. So basically, mind cannot function without any habits. So we are replacing the bad habit with the good habit. So when we say kusala and akusala, these two represents a kind of habit pattern. If we do good, instantaneously there is a reward which we can feel. If we do something bad, again we get a reward wherein we can feel something happening within our hearts. So there will be a constricted feeling when I am angry, when I am jealous, when I am disturbed of somebody progressing, I am not progressing. I can feel restlessness. I can feel hurt. All those are instantaneous. In the nature, nothing waits. In the same way, if I develop the nature of benevolence, develop the nature of loving kindness, develop the nature of truthfulness, develop the nature of non-harsh speech, etc., instantaneously I can feel in the heart an expansion. So basically, why we are reciting something is to get that expansive feeling. It's not that we should be doing like a ritual, that every day I come and I do a Buddha Dhamma Sangha, or any paritta means chanting. I should be doing that. So depending upon my mental construct, depending upon where the mind is, I need to develop that. So why Buddha, why Dhamma, why Sangha? I've already covered it in the document or in the website where I've shared in detail about the meaning of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So once I reflect on that, what happens here is that the mind would like to develop those qualities. Actually, we need to develop the quality of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha within us. Now, when we develop it, automatically we can see that the immoral qualities or the immoral nature starts to get depleted in the mind and we feel that expansive feel. So the first step is to develop this nature of expansion against contraction. So anything I do, that is killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lies, harsh speech, and slander, or some unwanted talks, then having too much interest in something, even though I have everything, I want myself to having something more than whatever is required, and then vyapada, which means that feeling uneasy, feeling irritated, feeling agitated, etc. So that feeling plus a wrong view is totally called as akusala. That means that which is not going to take to the good destination. Removing these 10 immoral deeds is kusala, which means that which takes to the proper destination or a proper way of living. So first thing first is that after I have recited the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, is to observe within myself these 10 immoral deeds and remove them from my list, meaning replace the moral deeds with the immoral ones. So when I do that, what happens? The mind is expansion. It expands. So there is no constricting feeling in the heart. So that is the next step I need to do after proper recitation. Let's say, for example, I have already been able to look at my immoral deeds. Is recitation required? And the answer is no, because there is no need for rites and rituals. Rites and rituals are the initial stage with which the mind has to be made to arrive. And once it has arrived, once it is able to understand the nature of contraction and expansion, it knows by itself that if it were to do an immoral activity, it will have a constricting feeling. If it is doing a moral, it has an expansion. So in that way, the sila or morality need not be a ritual. It is just the way of life, or we should inculcate in our life. Why? Because it has a hurt feeling. If I am immoral, instantaneously I have a hurt feeling. If I am moral, instantaneously have a not hurt feeling but a happy feeling. So every one of us wants to be happy. So the happiness can only be got when I have a moral binding within myself, because there is no fear. Immoral brings in fear. Moral brings in courage. So the first thing for myself is to develop morality, sila. So I can take 5 precepts, I can take 8 precepts, or I can remove the 10 immoral deeds, whichever it takes. Now why am I taking precept? Because I am having an aditthana, determination, that let me for the whole day practice the sila. Why? Because it gives happiness. Immoral deeds does not give the happiness what I want. While I want to be happy, what it is actually doing is to make me more and more unhappy, because there is a tightness, there is a horrible feeling in the heart. If we were to observe that, nobody would like to have it. Any of the immoral deeds gives us anxiety. The first thing gives us dissatisfaction. Third one is to make feel somewhat constricted. The fourth one brings in fear. The fifth one, it makes one to be very much prejudiced with whatever he is hearing, seeing, tasting, etc. Sixth one makes one very biased, very withdrawn, very held up. All of this in turn makes suffering more and more. So as much as we are immoral, or as much as I am immoral, from morning till evening, be it office work, be it house related, it has a constricting nature. I can see within my heart so much of constriction. So the basic aim, the next step after recitation, is to watch my immoral deeds for the whole day, taking a notepad and a pencil, writing it down, or how many times in the whole day. And that's just like a witness, just like a policeman, just like a watchman. Making a note, not having anything to do with feeling I shouldn't have done this, I should have said this, I should have said that. That's not going to work, because it's a habit what I have created. Let's say I'm exaggerating. That's a habit what I have created. Nobody can do anything about it. There's no point in I hitting myself. I shouldn't have done it. If that was not an habit, I won't have done it. So what I should do? I should write down. Be very open with myself. Oh, today, this time, I have exaggerated. This time, I have done half truth, half lie. this time I'm feeling sensually motivated to do something. Like, I'm not hungry, I'm full, but I'm feeling like going to the kitchen and eating something due to boredom. Just make a note. I'm feeling like eating. So if I do that for the whole day without gauging, without judging, non-judgmental, just a witness attitude, I can realize in few days it keeps on dropping away, because the awareness comes. When things become aware, one loses those activities which he was doing or she was doing about it. It becomes very easy now to see what is happening within one's own mind and letting go of it. So once we start letting go, the peace starts to come, the happiness starts to come, the joy starts to come, because an expansive feeling. And once the mind knows it is an expansion, it remembers. So this is how sati also means remembrance. So what we learn today is to watch for the immoral deeds, making note of it, ensuring that our pen and paper, or if you're using any iPad or any other gadget, we can write down as a diary, every day noting it. How many precepts have I broken? Again, nothing to do with a ritual. Once we know we are not breaking, we can throw it out, because now it doesn't require that. Till it is required, till I'm breaking it, I require a tool, I require a methodology. So I'm going to make a note. That becomes sati, awareness, mindfulness, or whatever word we can use in English. So the basic aim is to be aware of what is coming in the mind. So as soon as I get something, I write down. I don't have to be judgmental. I just have to be watchful, mindful, knowing that this has come, not reacting to it, knowing it has come, accepting to it. Yes, it has come. A sensual thought has come. A harsh speech has come. A lie has come. Like that. Just make a note. Why did I tell lie? Not required. Why did I get sensuality? Not required. I got it. That's all what is required. In the chitta, it is there. It's not that I am the chitta. In the chitta, it is there. And I accept, yes, it is there. Saragam va chittam, saragam chittam pajanati. He knows that there is a raga in the chitta. Sadosam va chittam, sadosam chittam pajanati. That means he knows that there is a dosa, there is a hatredness, anger, or whatever those forms which are constricting. Both raga and dvesha is a real constricting nature. So whenever I feel constricted, I make a note. Whenever I feel expansive, I make a note. Non-judgmental either to the expansion, non-judgmental either to the contraction. Then I'm coming into the middle path, which is upekha, equanimity to both. So first I develop the moral qualities, and then I observe when the mind is so expansive, it feels satisfied. So when the satisfaction improves, then the problem starts to reduce. This is the practice, what I need to do for today. Yesterday we learned about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha as Vandana. We looked at why we should recite it in a particular way, because it has vibrations, and when the mind is already agitated, better to use this tool because it pacifies the mind, and then it brings in some kind of a new habit pattern. And when there is a new habit pattern, the mind automatically drops off the old habit pattern what it has created. And then looking at the immoral deeds I am having in the whole day, making note of it, will keep on reducing the chances of going towards immoral dates. May the blessing of the triple gem be always with you. Let us work diligently towards our end goal, which is about nibbana.